everybody, my name is Justin Timmerman. I'm the brand manager for Aston Martin here in Nashville, Tennessee with Carlock Motor Cars and Aston Martin of Nashville. Here to share a little bit of information with you about the 2020 V8 Vantage from Aston Martin. So let's get right to it. So there's a handful of things that I would want to showcase to you. One is in 2020 they introduced the bonnet louvers or the vents. So this is a new feature specific to 2020. You can still get the hood fitted without it. However, I think it looks a little bit more aggressive and a little bit nicer fit and finish when you add the bonnet louvers. So one other thing with this vehicle is this car is custom fitted with a white stone paint. This is a very special paint job. You can see hopefully a lot of metallic flake as it hits in the sunlight. This is just an absolutely stunning paint job, and it's just one of those things that helps separate Aston Martin from the rest of the crowd when you see the amount of effort and craftsmanship that goes into a hand-built car. So this is hand-painted, hand-built. Everything about this car has a very hands-on approach and true craftsmanship. This car is also fitted with the lightweight forged wheels. So these are 20-inch. They come standard 20-inch wheels from Aston Martin, and these are lightweight forged wheels. So what this is going to do is reduce the amount of rotational mass. Now I'll spare you guys the engineering and physics of the rotational mass versus unsprung mass. If you want to, I'm sure there's some videos out there that you could watch. However, this wheel is a very nice setup for this car, as you can see, and the tires come straight from Pirelli. Alright guys, so I want to walk you through some of the features that are going to be on the rear end. So as you're configuring your vehicle at the Aston Martin configurator, you do have the option to change the color of the tail lamps from the red to a smoked, which is basically a clear brake light. I think that the smoked looks a bit better than the red. It is also just kind of sets it apart and it helps everything pop. But obviously, depending on how you're configuring your car, you would want to sort it out which one you prefer. In 2020, they did make it possible for you to change this body panel right here from body color to a carbon fiber look. So you can add a little bit more of a bespoke feature to the vehicle. Additionally to that, you do have options on how you can change the fit and finish of the rear diffuser. So you have the option of the standard satin as it is appearing here. You can also do it in a gloss black or a carbon fiber. When you start adding in the carbon fiber bits, yes, it does get a little bit costly, but you can do some extra stuff where you can change the color of the strakes underneath the vehicle. So it's just a little bit of a different way for you to customize and separate yourself from the herd, as if Aston Martin wasn't exclusive enough. Alright, so one of the interesting things I do want to share with you is as you start looking about what car you want to purchase, this car is actually more track focused. You're an enthusiastic driver. They have made this version a lot more driver friendly to the previous models in the Aston Martin lineup. In 2019, when they introduced this, they made significant changes. So with that, I want to show you the boot space that you have. And it's actually quite clever the way that they've done all of this interior space. So you not only have enough space for a 4-piece luggage set that you can actually get customized from Aston Martin, but you have additional shelf space if you would like to put this down. This section here folds down, or you can leave it up and use it as a separate shelf. So it's pretty clever the way that they've used the space and the size available to maximize the amount of luggage and storage that you can get into such a small, compact vehicle. So again, as you're configuring your Aston Martin on the Aston Martin configurator, one thing that you do have the capability of doing is customizing and bespoking the interior. So this car has a two-tone interior fitted with the Alcantara and leather mixture. You can do a monotone all leather. You can do a duotone Alcantara and leather set. You can do two leathers if you would like, and you can do an all Alcantara interior as well. It really just goes based upon what you plan on doing with the vehicle and what you want to express in the customization of your vehicle. All right guys, so one other thing to go over in the new V8 Vantage is the customization or the different drive modes and comfort settings that you can get. This car really comes with 3 very distinct personalities. So you have a drive mode of Sport, Sport Plus, and Track mode. So there's a few things to go over. However, before we get to that, everything is right here at your fingertips. So you will have the ability to make the change while driving. A lot of customers will ask, do you have to change or make that change while at a standstill or in neutral? Absolutely not. As you'll see moving forward, you can actually make that change on the fly. So it gives you the customization to make the vehicle whatever you want. You can do the same thing with the suspension and steering on the left side of the steering wheel. So let's go over the difference between Sport and Sport Plus. So when you go from Sport to Sport Plus, what's going to happen is, one, a change in the acoustic note. The next thing that's going to happen at the exact same time is, with that exhaust change note, you're going to get a shortened throttle mapping, which is going to get you a much more immediate throttle response. It's also going to hold the gearing a little bit longer. Now, once we go from Sport Plus to Track, all the dials turn red, lets you know you're in a very serious, aggressive mode. So with all of that being said, what happens again is you get a louder exhaust note on the downshifts and upshifts. It's going to hold the gearing ratio for as long as possible, maximizing the amount of power that you're able to get out of the engine, because you're telling the car that we're in track mode. I need all of the effort you can give me. So with that, you're going to get a lot more cracks, pops, bangs out of the exhaust. In my opinion, this is the only way to drive this car. All right, and here we have the twin turbo 4.0 liter V8 from AMG. Now, Aston Martin has put their own tuning on this car, so it has a different power output and acoustic noise than that of the AMG GT. So this car here is a very, very fun car. You can see how the engine is mounted. It is a front mid-mounted engine, so that means that the engine is pushed back as far as possible while still keeping the weight distribution as close to 50-50 as possible.